Oh, the government had jokes this time. Let's block states from protecting artists, sneak in a decade-long AI gag order, and call it innovation. Yeah, no thanks. They really thought no one would notice while they handed big tech the remote and told creators to just deal with it. Boom. 99-1 vote later and the whole thing's toast. You tried to play chess with people who built the board. Keep playing games. We're still watching. Check out this video from Curtis King. He's a music head and have really good taste in music. Check this out.
U.S. Senate rejects 10-year ban on state AI regulation in win for creative sector.
These hacks who think they're musicians because they type a prompt in are saying about their own music careers.
You niggas that typed in a few words and got a music career?
All the work he's putting in to making his art, the prompts, and nobody's listening.
These people who think doing this is the same thing as doing this. They said, it's just really discouraging to do all this work and nobody's listening. Ugh.
DIY.
DIYers, let's get to your least favorite topic at times, AI as it involves music. There was something that happened that you would have thought it would have got a lot more coverage, but it did not, because I think people were kind of confused about what actually was happening. If you did not hear, this is straight from, and I promise it's good news, and I know there's been a lot of bad news with Big Beautiful Bills. Somebody said I miss when BBB was Big Baller Brand, and I do too. But a little bit of a silver lining. It's not, we're nowhere near where we need to be in terms of protecting our music from these folks out here who think they can just go willy-nilly, the Sunos and the UDOs. But this was interesting because there was something that was proposed. We'll talk about it here, where they were going to put an AI 10-year ban on any state that tried to regulate whatever the hell AI wanted to do in terms of deep faking your voice, in terms of sampling and messing around with your music and putting it there for their data training. Well, U.S. Senate rejects 10-year ban on state AI regulation in win for creative sector. And we're going to break this down after we get a little bit into this article about how this affects indie artists and DIYers, of course.
DIY.
It says, the U.S. Senate dealt a blow to the technology sector early on Tuesday, voting 99-1 to strip a provision from President Donald Trump's economic package that would have prevented states from regulating artificial intelligence for a decade. He's finna be riding dirty for a decade. The rejection signals a victory to creative industry groups that have campaigned against what they see as an attempt to shield AI companies from accountability when using creators' art and music to create AI models. This is why you've been seeing so much coverage of this whole Timbaland situation and the artists that in many times have come to me looking for, having a conversation, first of all, but then of course I'm going to highlight anything, especially as these human artists are going through it right now, seeing their art sort of thrown into the data training of other people's AI models like Baby Timbo and shit like that. The proposal emerged from concerns that a patchwork of state and local AI laws would hinder American AI companies competing against China. What I tell you, they were willing to put all of them copyright laws. They were willing to put your music at risk, your IP at risk, so that they wouldn't get behind China in their discovery and advancement of AI. Nasty work. Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, who chairs the Commerce Committee, proposed the measure after securing backing from tech leaders. Oh, so he got a little money on it and decided this was the way to go about it. Initially designed as a 10-year ban on state AI oversight, Cruz and other lawmakers worked to secure that the provision is included in Trump's GOP mega bill. Supporters of the proposal, including OpenAI Sam Altman, Andurils, Palmer's Lucky, and a A16Z's Mark Anderson, according to TechCrunch. These are AI companies. However, the proposal drew opposition as further details emerged. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Trump's former press secretary, rallied Republican governors against the measure, writing to Senate Majority Leader John Thune and Speaker of the House Representatives Mike Johnson last week to remove the AI regulatory moratorium. Now, I know that's a bunch of slop, but what she basically said is people will be at risk until basic rules ensuring safety and fairness can go into effect. With that said, they voted on it, and this is what it's actually going to mean for us, because they were going to let them people ride dirty for 10 years, and we see how these AI companies have been maneuvering. Now, if you're an indie rapper, singer, or producer, you might be thinking, why the hell should I care about a moratorium and a 10-year ban that was halted? How does this affect me? Here, let me break it down. Right now, AI is being trained on our music and our culture. Our voices, our cadences, our beats, and in many cases, it's being trained using the actual recordings, master recordings, lyrics, and sound libraries created by real artists without permission, without credit, without a dime going back to the creators. We're talking about AI being able to mimic your voice, replicate your drum patterns, generate lyrics in your style, and put it all together in seconds. Now imagine that same AI being used by major labels or streaming platforms to flood the market with content that sounds like you. Velvet Sundown, I'm talking to you. But without needing to pay you or any artist at all. So what does the Senate vote have to do with that? There was a bill that would have blocked states from passing their own laws to regulate AI for the next 10 years. In other words, if that bill that Congress just struck down would have passed, no state could have stepped in to protect you as an artist from this kind of exploitation. But the Senate said no to that, which means states like California, New York, Georgia, and can still pass laws that stop the unauthorized voice cloning, protect your likeness and vocal style, prevent AI from being trained on your music without consent. And why is this a win? Because this is a win, but it's just a window. A chance for us to push for the kind of protection artists actually need. Now, every state will have a different level of aggression in terms of how they protect our art. Obviously, California serves a lot of artists, a lot of musicians, a lot of producers, and those who will be concerned with this. So you would hope they'd be more aggressive. We're going to keep applying the pressure. I suggest you do the same thing in your state, because without regulation, AI isn't just a tool. It becomes a shortcut to cut you out of the industry you helped build. Imagine that. So if you're serious about building a career as an artist, especially as an independent, this isn't just politics. This is about ownership and staying ahead of the game before it moves without you. And I'm not the only one that's been vocal about these type of things, man. Shout out to this dude. You might have heard about him during the whole Timbaland controversy. He's the one that called what Timbaland's doing flat out evil. Demonic is what he even said. This is, of course, John Sway. We were chopping it up before I got in here, but listen to what John Sway is starting to figure out as he kind of talks to folks and other artists who are concerned about this. This was a few weeks ago, but I didn't catch this until recently. Peep this out.
This is an innovation. They're not changing the tools. Nothing is evolving. This is control. AI won't speak on Gaza. It won't challenge Spotify scraps. It won't question who gets paid from a sync deal, and it damn sure is not going to stand up for the people who made the culture. I got to speak to Timbaland himself on his live.
Defined entity, right? When you go and you start creating,
And we got to talk for a good half an hour, and I meant every word, but that conversation only confirmed what I already knew. This isn't about one artist, it's a pattern. AI companies like Suno, they're partnering with major labels not to empower artists, but to replace them quietly with strategy. See, this isn't just about AI either. It's about communities, ecosystems, it's about people, it's about connection, it's about us all being with each other and all of that fading out. So what do we do? If they're replacing artists, they're silencing voices, and they're disconnecting the culture, what is the response? We rebuild the connection. We stop waiting for the industry to include us, and we create systems that cannot be replicated.
That part right there. That part right there. And the rest of the video, he kind of talks about sanctuary sessions, something that he's starting. But I'm with the sentiment of this, even if it's not specifically with the group that he's starting, in that I think this is going to cause for a lot of us to reactivate the relationships we have with our peers, with our creative communities, right? I think that the reason some artists and some producers were so eager to move into, AI images and text to image AI generating software so easily was because, well, it's less money than paying an actual graphic designer. And there's, to a certain degree, more reliability because they have to be concerned about how many people they have clients and who they have to get to. The same thing goes from the relationships between artists and producers. And I think that what this technology does is it takes advantage of an issue that has been ongoing, in that there's a lot of people who communicate online through Messenger and all these things, but they don't actually talk with each other. They talk to each other. They complain to each other. And I think this is going to be something, this whole situation is going to cause us to really have to figure out how to build our relationships, because we're all in this situation threatened by the terrible nature these AI companies are moving, but then also too the way some of the folks that we might have looked up to at one point in time, the way that they're maneuvering around. They're gonna be the demons that they are, but I thought this was funny in that one thing I didn't really think about. So the Suno CEO, got the guy that you saw the clip where he says music is not enjoyable to make. And so he said his goal with Suno was to make music available to 1 billion people. The ability to gamify and make music. Even if you have not a lick of experience, if you can type in words and prompts, then you will have access to, guitar playing that requires 20 years of experience. DJing that requires 10 years of touring, right? 10 years of Serato knowledge, whatever the case may be. He wants to give that access to anybody and then allow them to then put their AI slop on Spotify and whatnot. You know what's crazy about that? You know what I didn't account for? It ain't gonna be fun for them. They finna run into the same obstacles as us, but it's gonna be even more dumbed down than what we gotta go through because we actually went through the process. Peep this video here by Dustin, the industry plant. I thought this was funny. Niggas is out here complaining. The prompters.
If you're a musician, this is gonna absolutely tickle you. It's going to make you feel so good about everything that you're doing. I need you to look at this. And for the record, my hobby lately has been going onto the Suno AI subreddit and reading what these hacks who think they're musicians because they type a prompt in are saying about their own music careers.
You niggas that typed in a few words and got a music career? They got a name for them. Do you want to know what the name is? You want to know what they call them? You know what they call these motherfuckers? You know what they call them? Non-musician professionals. What? Non-musician professionals. How you a professional and not making music? Continue.
And Lift 30, and I won't read the whole thing, I'll give you the synopsis, is complaining that all the work he's putting in to making his art, the prompts, the lyrics, can you imagine the work that he's putting in and nobody's listening? Oh shit!
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth and I'm gonna tell it.
What would I hold on? Huh?
This is why I gotta remind myself, like we playing and God laughs, right? God looking at all this AI stuff, I'm pretty sure he's looking at it like, okay. Did I just hear him say, these people who think doing this is the same thing as doing this? They said, it's just really discouraging to do all this work and nobody's listening. Ugh. That's how I imagine they cuss. What y'all mad about? You want to be musicians, right? Doing all that work. Bitch, you ain't learned nothing. You ain't learned nothing. You don't do nothing. You ain't picked nobody's speaker up. You ain't put a drum set together. You ain't pressed a key. Nobody's listening. It's because you don't do it. That's like you picking up a basketball, going to the park, and being angry that you don't got an audience there like LeBron when he's playing an NBA game.
What? This is really hard.
This is let you know, stupidity is undefeated. Or is it winless? Stupidity is winless. Smart prompts can't fix stupid people. I love it.
Nobody, why is he doing this? He doesn't understand. How can nobody listen to his beautiful art? He just wants to know. He just wants to have some evidence that what he's doing isn't just jerking off into the void.
Hey, yo.
Oh man, I'm so frustrated, man. You're so frustrated. You type all those words and to make some music and nobody want to listen to your music. What's going on, man?
Oh, the sweet irony of these douchebags, these hacks, feeling the pain that actual musicians feel.
Hello.
Imagine how actual musicians feel when they write a song, put it out, and nobody listens to it. If you're a musician, this is gonna...
I was rich. Lord, I was rich. I was rich. Thank you so much for that, Dustin, industry plant. That's rich.
That is rich. Imagine the cognitive dissonance that says, hey, I want to be a professional producer. I do. I just don't want to play any instruments at all. Okay? I don't want to learn the process. I don't care about the process. Don't care about theory. Hey, music theory is a theory anyways, right? Who cares about that? Matter of fact, I don't even want to even mess with a plug-in. I don't care about sounds. I want to type this shit out until I have a masterpiece. And you know what else I want? I want you to be a fan of that shit.
This is No Filter News. Truth served raw, bold, and uncut. Hit that sub, stay loud, and catch us on the next drop. We don't fade out. We level up.